What if one truck could move more than an entire town? 15 of the biggest, most powerful trucks on Earth are built to carry the impossible. Their size, power, and sheer force will leave you speechless. Ready to see what these giants can do? You won't believe your eyes. Hitachi EH4000AC-3, the middleweight mammoth. Think about a dump truck. Now imagine one that can carry 244 US tons of rock every single trip. That's the EH4000AC-3. It's the smaller brother in Hitachi's mining truck lineup. But don't let the word small fool you. Powered by a 2,500 horsepower Cummins QSKTA-60C engine, this machine barrels across rough terrain at speeds up to 35 miles per hour, all while hauling the equivalent of 122 Ford F-150s stacked like bricks. Its dump body, 197 cubic yards, enough to swallow a small house or bury a swimming pool in gravel. It stretches over 48 feet long and nearly 24 feet tall. You don't get into this truck. You climb a ladder into it like a construction site skyscraper. Fuel tank? 1,320 gallons. At today's diesel prices, that's like setting fire to a pile of $100 bills. Yet despite its size, the EH4000AC-3 is surprisingly nimble, with an electric AC drive system that makes it handle more like a Tesla Cybertruck than a lumbering dinosaur. This isn't just a truck, it's a relentless, rock-crushing hauler that turns open pit mines into production lines. CAT 795 FAC, the efficient beast that moves mountains. Let's kick things off with a CAT 795 FAC, a machine that makes you rethink what's possible. This beast is hard at work in the San Juan mine in Colorado, one of the most rugged mining operations in the country. The terrain there is unforgiving, full of steep inclines and rough, loose soil. But the 795 FAC powers through it all like it was built for it. This machine hauls 400 tons of material per trip. Imagine stacking 80 adult elephants on top of each other. That's what we're talking about here. With a 3,500 horsepower diesel engine, the 795 FAC can travel up to 40 miles per hour, faster than most sports cars, despite being fully loaded. And if you're wondering about fuel, this truck gulps down 1,300 gallons of diesel every time it fills up, costing a whopping $6,000. But when you're hauling mountains, that's the price of doing business. Its dump bed, a colossal 250 cubic yards. That's nearly 17 times what a standard dump truck can carry. But here's where it gets futuristic. The 795 FAC can operate autonomously. With Caterpillar's autonomous haulage system, it can navigate rugged terrain on its own. Picture this. You're sipping coffee while this beast drives itself through the San Juan mine, hauling dirt as it goes. Liebherr T264, the Challenger. Nicknamed the Challenger, the T264 isn't the largest, but it's built to prove that smaller doesn't mean weaker. It carries 240 tons in a single haul. Picture lining up 40 African elephants in one load, or lifting the fuselage of a Boeing 777. That's the scale we're talking about. But what impresses American mine managers isn't just payload, it's efficiency. A full tank takes about 1,000 gallons of diesel. That's roughly $4,000 at today's US pump prices, the cost of a Caribbean family cruise. Yet compared to bigger models, the T264 stretches that fuel further. Over a year, that efficiency saves a mine millions. At operations in Australia and Nevada, Drivers love how it handles. One operator told me, "This truck may be the baby, but it works like a bull. You can feel the power under your boots." Its size also makes it more flexible on tighter sites. For mines balancing output with fuel costs, the T264 isn't just a challenger, it's proof that efficiency can carry as much weight as brute strength. First up is the BelAZ 75710, a truck so big it's the undisputed champion of hauling. Designed for the coal mines of Siberia, this monster can carry up to 496 tons. That's the weight of a fully loaded Boeing 747. It's over 65 feet in length, about as long as two double-decker buses parked end to end. Despite its massive size, the BelAZ is no slouch, cruising at 40 miles per hour, faster than most people would expect. If you see one of these beasts coming, you better make way. Komatsu 980E5, the king of trucks. Think about your daily commute. Now imagine making it in a vehicle that weighs more than a passenger plane. The Komatsu 980E5 carries 400 US short tons per trip, equal to 57 elephants packed shoulder to shoulder. Its 3,500 horsepower diesel engine doesn't whisper. It roars, pushing this giant to 40 miles per hour even when it's full of rocks. To fill it up, you'll need 1,400 gallons of diesel, about $7,500. With its 51 feet 7 in length and 26 feet 3 in height, this machine could double as a small office building on wheels. Its 327 cubic yard dump bed can carry nearly 17 times what your neighbor's dump truck can. And here's where things get futuristic. This beast doesn't even need a driver. Komatsu's autonomous haulage system allows it to self-navigate rough terrain in mines across Canada and Australia. Imagine sipping coffee while this thing drives itself across a desert, hauling a mountain. Brains, brawn, totally boss. Cat 797F, the heavyweight champion. And then there's the Cat 797F, the true heavyweight champion of Caterpillar's fleet. This beast takes on the most demanding tasks at the North Antelope Rochelle mine in Wyoming, one of the world's largest coal mines. The 797F has been tested under the harshest conditions, where the weight of coal being transported can break most other machines in half. But not this one. The Cat 797F can carry up to 400 tons. To give you an idea, that's like having 80 fully loaded semi-trucks all packed into one machine. Powered by a 4,000 horsepower engine, it can cruise at 40 miles per hour, even when carrying that massive load. Its fuel tank, a jaw-dropping 1,750 gallons. That's the equivalent of filling up an entire swimming pool just to move a few tons of coal. At 49 feet long and 24 feet tall, this truck is a monster. Its 360 cubic yard dump bed is so large, it could fill a small stadium. Yet despite its size, the 797F's technology ensures it handles with remarkable precision, maintaining stability and control as it navigates through the challenging terrain of the North Antelope Rochelle mine. Liebherr T282C, the beast of the mine. No list is complete without the T282C, known worldwide as the Beast. At Arizona's Morenci mine, one of the harshest environments on Earth, it built its legend. Steep inclines, rough terrain, and desert heat that can fry electronics. Many machines break here. The T282C thrives. Its stats are jaw-dropping. A 400-ton payload and over 3,600 horsepower. But what miners remember isn't the numbers, it's the moments. One veteran recalls, "I watched her roar up a slope with 400 tons on her back. Dust clouds like a sandstorm. Everyone thought she'd stall. She didn't even slow." Its suspension and hydraulics are advanced enough to keep the ride stable, even on bone-rattling terrain. For operators spending 12 hours inside, that's not luxury, it's survival. Without it, fatigue turns dangerous. With it, they finish shifts in one piece, leading up. Fuel-wise, a single T282C burns hundreds of gallons a day. Multiply that across a fleet, and the carbon output is staggering. Yet per ton moved, it's still more efficient than smaller trucks making twice the trips. That's the paradox of the beast. It looks like a monster, but it's actually a tool of efficiency, reducing total trips and making mining not just possible, but profitable. XCMG, XDE440, China's rising titan. Now picture this. You're standing next to a wall of steel, 3 stories tall, and it starts moving. That's the XCMG XDE440, China's answer to, what if we build the biggest thing ever? With a payload of 440 short tons and a 3,755 horsepower MTU engine, this monster has 9.5 million pound-feet of torque. Basically, the hand of God pushing dirt. Like others on this list, it maxes out at 40 miles per hour, which doesn't sound fast until you're being chased by it in your dreams. Fuel tank, 1,400 gallons. Bring your credit card. Its cab, 2 comfy seats, dual screens, a full 360-degree camera system. All it's missing is Netflix. Payload, 327 cubic yards. The XDE 440 doesn't just work, it winks at the future. Hitachi EH5000 AC-3, the king of Hitachi haulers. At the top of the list is a machine that redefines mega. The Hitachi EH5000 AC-3 is the biggest mining truck the company has ever built, and one of the strongest on Earth. With a payload of 326 US short tons, it hauls as much as a fully loaded Boeing 747 without wings. Its 3,800 horsepower diesel engine and electric AC drive system make sure all that power translates into unstoppable motion, rolling across mines like a juggernaut on roller skates. It stretches 51 feet long and 26 feet tall, bigger than a 5-story building if you stood it upright. Its dump body, 250 cubic yards, enough to unload a swimming pool's worth of rock in one go. Each tire towers 13 feet high and costs over $50,000. Lose one and you've just burned a sports car. And refueling? Try 1,500 gallons of diesel. A prayer and a fortune every time you top it off. Yet despite the size, operators praise its smooth handling and strong electric braking, even when barreling downhill with 300 tons in the bed. Around the world's toughest mines, this isn't just a truck, it's the king of haulers. Cat 798 AC, the crown jewel. And now we come to the Cat 798 AC, the king of all Caterpillar trucks. If the 797F is a colossus, the 798 AC is the emperor. This truck is used in some of the most demanding mining projects in the world, like the Fort Knox gold mine in Alaska. This mine has some of the harshest weather conditions and toughest mining environments, but the 798 AC thrives here. With a payload of 410 tons, this truck carries the weight of an entire fleet of smaller trucks. Powered by a 4,150 horsepower engine, the 798 AC is capable of reaching speeds of 40 miles per hour, even with that enormous load. Its fuel tank holds 1,300 gallons, enough to fuel a small town for a day. At 51 feet long and 22 feet tall, this truck is massive, and its 361 cubic yard dump bed is the largest in its class. making it capable of hauling more material than any other truck on the market. Inside, it's equipped with cutting-edge technology, including real-time diagnostics, GPS tracking, and onboard cameras. It's more than just a truck, it's a mobile innovation. And the best part? The 798 AC isn't just a truck. It's a game changer for mining, construction, and beyond. Liebherr T284, the undisputed king. And finally, the undisputed king, the Liebherr T284. At Chile's Escondida mine, the largest copper mine in the world, this truck rules. Standing nearly 30 feet tall and stretching over 54 feet, it's larger than some apartment buildings. Its dump bed holds 260 cubic yards, and with a 400-ton payload powered by more than 4,000 horsepower, it moves mountains with astonishing speed. But numbers alone don't crown it king. What makes it legendary is resilience. In the Andes, days scorch at 100 degrees and nights freeze below zero. Winds whip dust sharp as glass, lesser machines buckle. The T284 keeps rolling. One Chilean operator put it simply, out here, the T284 isn't a truck, it's survival. Without it, ore stays in the ground. With it, the world gets copper. And that copper is everywhere. In smartphones, EV batteries, power grids. In a sense, every time you plug in your phone, a T284 is part of the story. Fuel costs are staggering. Filling one tank could pay an American worker's yearly salary. But to mining companies, that expense is nothing compared to the billions in ore it makes accessible. To miners, the T284 is more than steel and diesel. It's a partner they rely on, a fortress that protects them from the extremes of nature. And to the world, it's a silent giant powering modern life. Cat 777G, the reliable workhorse. Next, let's talk about the Cat 777G, the workhorse of Caterpillar's lineup. This truck is not as flashy as the others, but trust me, it commands respect. It's built for the long haul, especially in places like the Carlin Trend mine in Nevada, home to one of the largest gold deposits in the world. This mine is constantly pushing its workers to their limits, but the 777G just keeps going, day after day, without breaking a sweat. With a 1,000 horsepower engine and a 315-gallon fuel tank, the Cat 777G can carry 100 tons of material. That's like filling an entire two-story house with dirt and rubble. And with a 64 cubic yard dump bed, it's able to handle some of the biggest hauls at Carlin Trend. At 42 feet long and 18 feet tall, this machine is compact enough to move swiftly through narrow mining roads. It doesn't have the overwhelming presence of some of the bigger trucks, but make no mistake, this truck is essential to keeping the operation running smoothly. The 777G isn't about making a spectacle. It's about getting the job done with reliability and endurance. Liebherr T236, the steady workhorse. If the T264 is about efficiency, the T236 is about trust. Miners at the Robinson Mine in Nevada call it the truck that never sleeps. It doesn't grab headlines with record-breaking stats, but it has something far more valuable: reliability. With a 240-ton payload, it hauls the equivalent of a fully loaded passenger jet, shift after shift, day after day. Its bed holds 150 cubic yards of material. Imagine burying an entire two-story suburban house in dirt with one dump. At 22 feet tall, it's not the biggest, but that's exactly why crews love it. It can maneuver through tighter pits where the mega trucks can't. What stands out to American viewers is its fuel burn, around 150 gallons per shift. That's like filling up 10 Ford F-150 pickups every single day, just for one truck. Multiply that by a fleet of 20, and you start to see the staggering logistics of modern mining. Operators often describe the cab experience. She's smooth. When you're 12 hours on rough ground, that suspension saves your back. You finish a shift tired but not broken. To miners, that's everything. In an industry where downtime costs millions and fatigue can cost lives, the T236 isn't just equipment. It's the heartbeat that keeps the mine alive. Cat 793F, the powerful pusher. Now let's take a step up with the Cat 793F. If the 777G is a workhorse, the 793F is a powerhouse. You'll find this truck doing the heavy lifting at the Bingham Canyon Mine in Utah, the largest open-pit copper mine in North America. Here, the 793F faces the ultimate test, hauling massive loads of copper ore across rugged terrain in some of the most challenging conditions in the mining industry. The Cat 793F carries 250 tons of material per trip. To put that in perspective, imagine stacking 2 jumbo jets and calling it a load. Powered by a 2,750 horsepower engine, it can haul this massive weight at speeds up to 40 miles per hour, thanks to its advanced suspension system that smooths out even the roughest roads. With a 1,000-gallon fuel tank and a 154 cubic yard dump bed, this truck isn't just moving mountains, it's gliding through them. At 46 feet long and 23 feet tall, the 793F is an imposing figure. Yet despite its size, it maneuvers with surprising agility, handling the toughest mining roads at Bingham Canyon with ease. Liebherr T274, the rising contender. Now we move up to the T274, the rising contender in Liebherr's ultra-class lineup. With a payload over 300 tons, it can haul the same weight as 50 yellow school buses. For American audiences, that's a jaw-dropping image. Your entire school parking lot gone in one trip. But the T274 is known less for brute force and more for balance. Mining engineers praise it for its fuel-to-ton ratio. Every gallon of diesel moves more rock, lowering both costs and emissions. In a world increasingly focused on carbon footprints, that matters. One sustainability officer in Canada put it like this: every extra ton per gallon is money saved and carbon not burned. That's why this truck matters. And it's not just managers who appreciate it, operators love its handling. At 26 feet tall and 50 feet long, you'd expect it to lumber. But drivers say it feels surprisingly agile, like a fortress on wheels that dances. At Chilean copper mines, where output is king, the T274 is the middleweight champion, big enough to challenge the beasts, but nimble and efficient enough to keep operations profitable. This truck reflects a shift in mining culture. For decades, the goal was bigger, faster, stronger. Today, efficiency and sustainability share the throne. And the T274 is proof that even giants must adapt to a greener world. So, which of these 15 titans left you speechless? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If these giants amazed you, hit like, share with a fellow fan of massive machines, and don't forget to subscribe for more power-packed content.